Growing up, the black press was not something I paid a lot of attention to, and so its direct effect on me, as from the standpoint of me reading it, consuming it, was negligible. But as I got older, I came to understand that there were certain stories that would only be told by the black press. There were certain people that whose accomplishments you'd only find out about reading the black press. And so as I got older, became more aware, it became more important to me. And while I can't say I was a steady consumer of it, I can say that honestly, I did read it with some frequency, and it was always enlightening and insightful for me.
What did you read?
Well, just the events of my hometown at the time, and then when I moved here to Cincinnati, the events of a certain section of this community that didn't get covered in mainstream media. The opportunity to find out, and for me moving to Cincinnati, the opportunity to find out who people were that I had no idea about otherwise was phenomenal. It was an incredible opportunity, to meet Fred Suggs and Marjorie Parham through the work they did with their black-owned newspapers, to meet Bill Spillers, to find out about Fred Shuttlesworth. I would have found out about Fred Shuttlesworth sooner or later, but I might not have known all the history about him that I knew about. Ted Berry, all those people, because Ted Berry was still alive at the time. So all those people, just fascinating to know.
Do you think the black press is as effective today as it was in the past?
Probably more so, because those reporters will likely have access beyond what they had years ago. The technology that they can employ to cover stories is rapidly advanced, and the need for that perspective in reporting for the coverage of the African American community is no less urgent now than it was when things were far more segregated. Mainstream media still does not do a good job of covering communities of color, and I lump into that TV and, quite frankly, this station as well. It's just not something we do well, because we don't understand all the nuances, and sometimes people of color who have expertise in an area still are viewed with a certain lack of confidence in their credentials, where in the black press doesn't come with those cultural blinders. So I think they're every bit as necessary as they were 40 years ago.
Okay. Did you have any role models growing up, personally and professionally, that maybe you wanted to be like?
I had a preacher growing up, Eugene Lee. His children, his son in particular, were good friends of mine. So I spent a lot of time around them, and I learned a lot from him. I just learned a lot about conducting basic, everyday business, about life, that sort of thing from him. My father, I'm so much like him, it's not funny. He's passed now, but and I only find out the degree to which I'm like him after he's gone. But I'm so much like him, it's not funny, and there's so much of him in me that I don't always see it, but other people who knew him and know me see it sometimes. I physically look like him. On the professional level, guys like Max Robinson were phenomenal. They were just like, man, this guy is on network TV. He's great. There was a woman at the station that I started at, actually an African-American man and woman. Billy Rich was the man's name. Jane Harrington was the woman's name. They were both not only great role models, but they were great mentors. They reached out, they pulled me along, they helped me, they nurtured what little talent I had, the way you blow a spark into a flame. So there are plenty of people like that. We all have them, and we all need them.
So, who do you see as strong African Americans in the media today?
Without a doubt, though she's not a journalist, Oprah Winfrey shades a lot of ground, to use a term of art. She is huge. She has a lot of influence. Bob Johnson, though he no longer owns BET, because of what he started, it's still there in some form or fashion. It is still a great platform, albeit not used to the degree it could be for good. It's a great platform. He started it. That makes him something of a visionary. You have to give him credit for that. Earl Graves at Black Enterprise Magazine, goes without saying. The Johnsons at Ebony and Jet, and all of those related magazines. Susan Taylor at Essence Magazine, great, just phenomenal. On the broadcasting side, in addition to Oprah, not a whole lot of people like Max Robinson nowadays, but there was Bernie Shaw. He was phenomenal in his day, and on the local level, there are any number of people who are carrying the banner high and doing a great job. So, yeah, there's still a lot of giants out there to look at and to emulate for people thinking about going into this business.
So